Shalom. Brothers and sisters, shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. This particular presentation, brothers and sisters, is made for edification purposes of what many have been speaking on concerning certain things. Now, I know it may seem a little weird in this particular presentation with the heart little shape right there. But the reason why I put that is just for the aspect of showing love, if you will. That's the closest thing among many things, that I was able to see online and so forth. Right? I am okay doing this at this particular hour and time because this is not meant for children. Some of the pictures that we will show is not meant for younger viewers. This here is saying a matter to address to Black people. We have to love each other. We are told to. Now, when I say we are told to, I'm saying we are told to by the Creator, giving honor and praise to the Creator. As on this channel 2 days ago, I spoke about my experience when I was in North Carolina and the amount of love that was shown there. And I hope that that kind of love can spread and genuine love because you can tell when it's genuine and when it's not. You understand? So, brothers and sisters, let's go into this particular subject because what we want to address, brothers and sisters, is a very serious matter. This is not for likes, views, anything of that sort. Of the Facebook pages I use, I only put them on two particular channels. This video, brothers and sisters, is hopefully going to be at least watched. And it's not to sound disrespectful or unappreciative. But if you don't like it, so be it. But we must address this subject matter. Let's go on. Start. The point is that we are to be loving to each other, supportive of each other, and respectful of each other. Now, what you're looking at on the right-hand side is a meme which says, if you like someone, tell them. If you miss someone, tell them. That is something to talk about right there. And I want to circle this, if we will, with the pen here that's there. Tell, tell. You know what that means? That means we have to, as a people, work on our communication with each other. That's very, very, very important. We are the only people, correct me if I'm wrong, not that I sit there and address other nationalities and their issues on this channel, that seems to take a compliment and not communicating one with another, not giving each other, quote, another chance in a particular matter. If you love someone, show it. Now, that right there is an act. Just as much as love is shown, you can also see when it's not apparent. Now, what do I mean? For instance, the word in Hebrew to say to see is the word ra'ah. When you put that in a causative form in the hefil, it becomes har'ah or har'e, pardon me. You understand? And with that particular case, when you're showing something, you're causing it to be seen. You understand? Now, this title right here is called A Hebrew Brother Speaks Regarding Self-Esteem of Sisters. While I was down in North Carolina talking with family, in New York talking with family, it's some immediate in both places, some extended in both places. I wanted to address the matter regarding the aspect with sisters because I remember hearing that the women is the mother of an everlasting nation. You understand? Life is too short to keep your feelings inside. So we only have, as stated, one life. And so when brothers and sisters, we need to sit there and show those feelings to one another. But let's go on and see what actually does happen and what actually unfortunately is shown. Let's go on. Now, mind you, this is addressing our people. Who is attacking? Who is defending? Take heed. Now, what you're looking at on the left hand side, as I stated, this is not necessarily for children's eyes. When you're looking at the situation here on the left hand side, this is an image on two different cases. One from a movie on the bottom in the blue, Django, and another one from an image that was acquired by um, going into Google Images and so forth of black women being beaten upon by oppressors, in this particular case, white males. Who is attacking? You see who the attackers are if you already know the history from the left hand side, and you see who is defending. Now, what you're looking at on the right hand side is an image of a man that's being defended when people were going to attack him, and who is defending him is a black female. Now, why did I put this here will be explained as we go along in this particular regard. All right, let's go on. Note who has to go through walls. If you like someone, tell them. If you miss someone, tell them. If you love someone, show it. Life is too short to keep your feelings inside. Now, what you're looking at with the meme on the right hand side, she is saying, I will not be hurt again. And he's saying, I'm not him. Now, why did I go through this, brothers and sisters? Because we can see who is the one who has to have an actual utensil or tool to try to break down that wall and that barrier that she is quote unquote perfectly making for herself. The only, correct me if I'm wrong, females that actually tell the males of her own people that she has a wall up is a sister. And if you don't think so, we're going to show you live chats that have happened regarding that kind of matter. You understand once it comes down into that. I will not be hurt again. And the brother is saying, in quote, I'm not him. So whoever hurt you in the past, she, in many cases, is taking it out on all of them. Yet when we go right back over here, we see them whooping your ass. You understand? From one continent to the next, from one state to the next. They make movies about whooping your ass, but yet we see who is the one being defended by the same kind of sisters. How come he doesn't get a wall? How come he is the one that's being defended and protected? It's because we're going to explain why as we go along. Okay, so let's go on into the next part. A sister, note the meme. Now, what you're looking at on the words on the left hand side is from an actual conversation with a woman saying, speaking of herself, I gave myself a deadline. That deadline has passed. Plus, I just don't want to use my energy putting in the work that it will take to make it work. It is no longer worth it to me. Do you know what it is? Marriage. That's what a sister said inside of a conversation on Facebook. She gave herself a deadline. That deadline passed, and she doesn't want to use her energy into putting into the work that it would take. Because you know what work they're doing is the work on the left hand side that we see with this wall. So you can't do both. So you can't say, as you pointed out here, plus I just don't want to use my energy putting in the work, because this is the work that you're doing right here on the on the right hand side. You're building that wall up. That's why you don't want to put that energy in. But yet, as we're going to keep on showing, right here with the laser pointer being shown, he with the Confederate flag is being defended after they show you getting your ass beat. How come, as asked, he doesn't get the wall up? We're going to explain why later on. This is why I'm saying this kind of video is not like for everyone. That's why I was saying earlier, it may not be suitable for all viewers, especially children. It is no longer worth it to me. So you're 40, 50, 60, or whatever your age may be, right? And you're saying marriage is not worth it. So what are you going to be doing? Now, this is not to sound carnal, but men and women both want physical attention at times. So if you're a woman saying that you don't see marriage being worth it to you, what are you going to do when you need that physical attention from a man? It's called hoes. This is why I said this is not suitable maybe for everybody's eyes. Old whores, if you will. And there are men who don't view marriage as being sacred, and they are male whores. You understand? This is the kind of thing that we have been sitting up there and seeing and dealing with. A person says that they don't want to put in the work that it would take to make it work because you can't build your wall and quote unquote protecting yourself from the dreaded black man because you're too busy doing this. That's why you're too busy doing this on this side. So we're going to go on and explain our point even further for edification purposes. From a sister, note the mean. Now, this is from an actual conversation. I always call my wall iron bars because you can see in, but you will never get in or truly know the woman inside. It's a lonely life. Even when you are in a relationship, you feel lonely, but it's normal for lots of women. I never gave my all to no one but one person, and he's one of the reasons I have these bars. More than likely, I am gonna die single. That's from a sister. I ain't gonna name no names or post no pictures because it's not worth all of that. This is not to blow up the spot channel. This is for edification and education, brothers and sisters. You see what we just read? You're going to tell yourself that you're going to die single. These are mothers of some of our children. Some of these women, actually, the ones that actually are cited, have children. Not to blow up their name or their identity or anything like that. What are you teaching your daughters? I'm telling you what they teaching their daughters. They giving them the cement and the bricks and the utensils in order to sit there and keep on building that wall. She's behind her daughter. Yeah, girl, you're gonna sit there and make sure these niggas don't get your heart, and you just keep building that wall up. That's what's going on. You understand? You call your wall iron bars that you can see through. So you want some peekaboo gaming type of mentality. Nothing concrete, because you're dealing with bricks and not concrete. Nothing that's serious, because you're dealing with iron and not concrete, and you just want to sit there and peek ever so often. So therefore, when you want your man or a man that you consider to be quote your man, no, 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 no. This is not one-sided. No, no, no. This is not one-sided. This is a brother, as the title says, my sister. A Hebrew brother speaks regarding self-esteem of sisters. Of course, when a brother speaks, he's going to speak upon the behalf of brothers and how brothers feel. This is why I encourage sisters to get their own channels, write their own books, so they can sit there and speak upon a particular subject. You see, this is not a one-sided thing. This is a true thing. And so, with that being the case, I would like to sit there and get into this a bit further. when it says, as we can point out here, because you can see in, but you will never get in or truly know the woman inside. So if you're not dealing in what's being truly inside, then what are you dealing with? You're presenting a lie. See, look at the wording, and this is not to sit there and nitpick or anything of that sort, but sometimes you just have to sit there and observe something. You will never get in or truly know the woman inside. So who gets to know the woman inside? I already showed his picture earlier. He's the one that's sitting up there being protected by them. After they made movies showing how they was spanking your behind from one place to the next. And I don't mean spanking. Let me put it in other words you understand. When he was whooping your ass, not the aspect of spanking like carnal stuff. So we won't get it misunderstood. You understand? So you will never get in or truly know the woman inside. So if you're not dealing truly, then that means you will be presenting a lie. That's what you're doing. Then it goes on. It's a lonely life. Even when you are in a relationship, you feel lonely, but it's normal for lots of women. So because you're taking on the understandings and the situations of some other women, you're making that part of your life. Those other women are not you. If you wise for yourself. You see. Then it goes on. I never gave my all. This would will continue to be said. I never gave my all to no one but one person, and he's one of the reasons I have these bars. More than likely, I am going to die single. That's from a sister. You're going to die single. That's what you really think? And my response was, well, Shalom, may the Most High strengthen and bless you. And I'm not playing nitpicking, but of course it wasn't said back. Okay, my brother, you'll be blessed too. May the Creator bless you too. It was just end of conversation once the Most High was mentioned about sending a blessing because they not dealing with the Most High. That's why you would see here, you would never get in or truly know. Because when you're dealing with the Most High Creator, you're dealing with what is true and what is digging in and bringing it out. They don't want to deal with the Most High. They want to continue this wall that is being built up so they can continue to sit there and have their own fallacy going on. And the mothers have been teaching their daughters these kind of things. These are things we're going to have to sit there and talk about. That is why when you find in many cases speaking about the self-esteem matter, like my sister, you're a beautiful person. That doesn't mean I want your vagina. You understand? Oh, nigga, I know you just want this pee. No, it's not like that. I'm just saying I think you're a beautiful person. Maybe daddy didn't state it. Maybe mommy didn't state it. Maybe uncle didn't state it. Maybe grandparents were not even around to state it. So let's go on to the next part. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 3, and Jeremiah 2, verse 14. A message from online. Israel is the Lord's hallowed portion, his first fruits of the increase. All that devour him shall be held guilty. Evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord. Then it goes on to say, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he become a prey? Is Yisrael a homeborn servant? Do you sit there and see, as you saw in Django, when he was like Calvin and he was holding his slave master, just like you saw the sister in the picture, as we'll get back into, protecting her own master? Then there's another portion that was from online that says, the fool. This is what is stated. Black men pay black women no attention. Then say, why are you in my inbox? See, you can't sit back and ask why somebody saying thank you for the ad, have a good day. Oh, my brother, why are you in my inbox? But then be the same type of females that'll turn around and say, oh, you don't pay us no attention. So either you want us to pay attention or you just want to sit there and be this person that you see right here, building this fallacious war so that way people can sit there and try to have something to talk about. You understand? That's the point that we want to point out for edification purposes. And a lot of these kind of things, black men have been feeling for quite a while, but was told to shut up, don't pout, don't bitch, don't complain. If you want this pee, vagina, you better sit there and shut up, and so forth and so on. You're in my house, you're on my couch, and all these kind of things. So now when we can see something like social media, and it seems like it's one sided. No, it's not one sided. It's things that we've been trying to sit there and talk about for a while, but we were told not to. We were told to behave ourselves like little boys. See, you're going to have to make up your mind whether you want a boy or a man in your life because he can't be both. There are those who try to treat the men in their life like sons. So one has to decide whether they want a manly man in their life or one that's like a son that is by commandment have to acquiesce. Because a son doesn't lead his mother. A man leads his woman. You understand? So this is something we want to point out in that particular regard. So I asked the you know who man, why is he in your inbox? Ask Zuckerberg, why is he in your inbox? Don't ask the Israelite brother. Don't ask the black man. Ask them why they in your inbox. Why is he in your child's mind? Why don't we as a people take a collective thought of that? And they bringing in letters stating that what you can and cannot do with your own children. But you worried about your inbox. And see, one of the things in my spirit and wanting to get into this particular subject matter is because of a conversation I've had with sisters and a conversation I had with family members and things that I know and talk about in regards with my little one. So that's in the spirit as to why I'm presenting this kind of subject. You understand? The self-esteem matter is shot. That's why when you try to, in many cases, compliment a sister, she looking at you like you got two heads. I'm not all that. I am not, Yo, you are special. You are unique. You are a light to people. You are a great person. I've known of sisters that's over 35 years old and has never been told, I love you from a man. Real talk. Real talk. I'm not talking about your grandfather when you was 4 or 5 years old. I'm talking about a male that liked you outside of your immediate family. These are the reasons why we want to talk on these kind of subjects. Yeah, there's many who are confused, sister, male and female alike. Let's go on. Isaiah 1 and Jeremiah chapter 8. And the daughter of Zion is left as a booth in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. And they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people lightly, saying, Peace, peace, where there is no peace. They have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people. As they shoot the black men, as they put plungers in the black man's behind, as they periodically show black men that were incarcerated 20, 30 something years unjustly, what do they tell the sisters? Y'all just go on and get your degree, go on into the nursing program. Don't worry about no relationships. Men will always be around. You do you, girl. And I've taught in a college, so I know what they say because I've taught in a college. You understand? So this is not something that one is just making something up because they wanted to sound special. There are women in my family who can attest to this kind of thing. Put the boys to the side, just do you. And when I say that, I have a little girl. I don't want her dealing with boys, but I would want her to be married one day. Somebody posted a thing that said, close your eyes. This is a sister asking the brothers online. Close your eyes. Do you see yourself being happy with a daughter with a man like you. So I understood exactly where the point was coming from. You understand? I understood where the sister was coming from in that regard. There are males who feel that marriage is not sacred for some of the dumbest reasons. There are men who say marriage ain't sacred because of pornography. There are men who say marriage ain't sacred because of the stuff that goes through with a divorce. There are men who say that marriage is not sacred because people are going to be cheating anyway. You understand? So what happens is, as it says in Isaiah 1, the daughter of Zion, the sisters, right, is left as a booth in a vineyard. A booth in a vineyard? Don't you put the stuff in a vineyard in a booth? But what happened with our people and our sisters is so backward to where you got the booth in the vineyard instead of the stuff from the vineyard in the booth as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers. Wouldn't you put the stuff from the cucumbers in the lodge? But when one is, quote, out of place, you begin to see things like the booth in the vineyard and the lodge and the cucumbers, as opposed to the cucumbers and the stuff in the vineyard inside of the booth in the lodge. See, it's out of place. It's backward. You understand? As a besieged city, because everybody done came up and besieged our sisters. This is what we want to talk about. You understand? And I'm gonna have to say this. I've seen the quote unquote sisters with extensions, the sisters with perms, the sisters with weaves, and I've seen sisters with the dreadlocks, the natural, the afro, all doing the swirling, as we see, pointed out, brothers and sisters, right here. And we'll defend that person till the cows come home. See, the brother, he doesn't get that option. He gets a wall put between him and the sister. He doesn't have the chance to sit there and say, I want to make it up to you. You understand? He doesn't get the time and the opportunity to try to say, let me repair the breach that's broken. Because she's saying, I will not be hurt again. So that's why I made sure I put in this particular one, you're hurt one part here and your hurt part here. Two different times. But you're going to tell the brother, I'm not going to be hurt again. Meanwhile, he's hurting you right here and right here more than once. But what's the brother is told is, oh, you're not going to be hurt again. See, these are the kind of things we want to point out for edification purposes. They have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people lightly. And what was done by saying peace, peace where there is no peace. We got something in place of a man. When you want that physical attention, they go right to the store and get toys. Sisters buy those things. When you want to sit there and do something, we'll give you the check. And you don't even have to have him in your life. And you just live your career, not having to sit there and be tied down with that nigga. And that's the mentality that's stated and shown. That's why you find majority of our sisters not married. That's why you find a majority of our mothers, black mothers, not married. Did you know it was odd when the sister put online, I made it to 18 and didn't have sex with no one, and now I'm married? Hey, girl, that's a good thing. How is that a good thing and not a good and common thing? Because the natural nature of a woman wanting to be desired by a man while she's up there putting this fallacious wall up, as we already shown, and as one stated, oh, I put my bars up and I just look through it. I just look through it. I just look and see what's there because I don't want to sit there and be part of that. That's my point. The brother don't get the second chance, the third chance. You understand? Meanwhile, This society done sat there and made movies about you not getting quote unquote sensually spanked, but straight up getting your ass whipped, and he's still a good person. Not all of them are like that. Lee and Sheffield, Beckton and Casebolt. You know who Lee is? That's the sister that got attacked in Texas inside of the parking lot in Sheffield. This is the attack that you're seeing right here. I sat there and had this glean from online, right? That's the attack that you're seeing right there. This is the guy who did it. All of them ain't like that. They got it documented in history and in the news about sisters getting their ass beat. But it ain't all of them. How come that dude don't get the war? You understand? That's right in Texas just this year in 2019. And we see on the other side, Beckton and Casebolt. Beckton is the sister, the teenager, 14, 15 years old, that you see here on the ground. And Casebolt is the cop that retired after he did what he did at a pool party. He has his knee in her back, but it ain't all of them. There are law officials are doing it, and the guy that's just simply upset is also doing it. And their ancestors was doing it, and they taught their children that. Because while that wall is being built, and it ain't all of them, never is said about the brothers. Did you know that? Please show me the meme, the comment, besides the one, well, they're all black men who do take care of their kids. All of them are not the same. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about marriage and upliftment and family and being able to relate with the peers of the opposite sex among our people. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a man being a father. I'm talking about a brother becoming a husband to a sister. That's what I'm talking about. You understand? So as we see a person that was in 2015 getting attacked by the police on the right hand side, he resigned. She wound up getting over $100,000 as a lawsuit. And on the other side, did you know on this side here on the left hand side with Lee and Sheffield, you know they gave the sister a felony? Did you know that? So I'm showing different examples of history from 2015, 2019, and back in the 1800s. So we need to stop that it ain't all of them and it ain't all the time. And while you made sure you got that tool and you put in that cement against Tyrone, against Dwayne, against Eleazar ben Yisrael and the rest of the brothers and so forth and so on. I'm just throwing names out there, but we get the point of what's being stated. Let's go on to the next slide. This actually happened. The point we want to emphasize is that it is impossible to love both the black and white man. The black woman, while shown in memes, building a wall to ward off the black man, is shown in real life defending the white man. Look, all you gotta do is look. I ain't making this up. This isn't one-sided. This is sad-sided. Sad-sided and sad stated, not one-sided. You understand? What brothers expect to see when this kind of thing is shown here as she protects him, a freaking KKK member? That's what that guy was, a KKK member with the Confederate flag on his shirt. Candace Owens is right there. Candace Owens is the lady that speaks up for Trump. Maybe she should have learned from Omarosa. That ain't the person to speak up for. What are young black males being taught? when they're told that the person who signs the check is the man of the house. Let's go in. Let us go in so we can understand what's going on. He knows it ain't his father doing it. He knows it ain't his uncle doing it. He knows the dude that hired his mom for the job don't look like his grandfather. So when he is told as a child, the person who signs the check is the man of the house. And then he goes to like the aspect of going to bring your child to work day and mommy don't have no pictures of her and her husband, but the lady in the next cubicle, Barbara, Becky, Susan, they have that. You understand? These are the kind of things we're talking about. When we feel it's one sided, when we feel this is not important, when we feel this is not what it is, we have another generation, be it in New York or be it where I travel in North and sometimes South Carolina, the same aspect. Let's go on. But that was it, you know. But this actually happened as stated, you know, once it came down to a particular subject matter. So we want to review and go back. It mattered to address the black people. We have to love each other. We are told to. So if you tell a sister, I love you, and she can't say it back, that's a problem. If a sister tell a brother, I love you, and he can't say it back, that's a problem. And for the Israelites, if a brother or a sister is telling the other, the Most High bless you, and we are saying we are the children of the Most High, and you can't say it back, that's why you're going to stay looking just through your bars with your mouth shut. Because you said, and we want to cite it, brothers and sisters, you said, I always call my wall iron bars because you can see in, but you will never get in. She got that up there like you ain't never getting up in this or in the heart. So we get our mind out the gutter, okay? Or truly know the woman inside. So if you're not presenting what's truly you, then that means you're giving me a fake you. That's why when a brother said, may the Most High strengthen you, you couldn't say it back. Because when you're dealing with the Most High, you're dealing with truth. You understand? And real talk, if a female can only present her vagina to a man, and she has to ask that man, what does he like? As opposed to, quote, studying him so she can learn on her own, so to speak, and see how he moves as a man, that's a problem. You understand? That's a problem. And more than likely, you're going to die single. Like it says in Jeremiah. It says, don't have no sons and daughters, for they who are born shall die a grievous death in this land. And just like we read in Jeremiah, death shall be chosen above life. The scriptures for us Israelites, it says to be a father to the fatherless. So when you in this particular aspect, you're giving yourself a deadline and that deadline has passed. Plus, you just don't want to use your energy putting in the work that it would take to make it work, making a relationship work. The next generation is going to look and wonder what happened. And let's see what happened. The brothers dropped the ball. The sisters built the wall, and that's the situation. We as brothers have dropped the ball. See, when we start talking about the aspect of what the black male is responsible for, you notice nobody ever says, it ain't all brothers. Everyone else, the black women, white men, those three categories always get that saying of it ain't all of them. But once it comes down to the black man, he's the one that never is said, besides, well, he do take care of some of them, take care of their kids. It ain't all of them. So that's something I want to point out and for edification purposes. Now, these comments that were made by actual people. Not going to put their name or their picture or even the date or the time or so forth, because that's not what this channel is for. But it just goes to show, brothers and sisters, as it says, they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people by saying peace, peace, where there is no peace. So as she feels she ain't going to be hurt again, we see who she's going to be protecting. Because that's something I pointed out and asked. I was like, hold on. This man here makes movies and I'm whooping your ass. How come he don't get the breakup? Because the whole head is sick and the whole heart is faint, as it says in Isaiah. That's why. We see on the left hand side aspects of oppressors beating on women, as we see here from the movie Django. And we see here, brothers and sisters, in real life, not that the other picture was fake, of them beating the sisters down and one here holding the sister down. But we going to say it ain't all of them. It's their ancestors, their current individuals, and their law enforcement people that's doing it. So, yeah, well, we're going to close out now and say shalom and step up, love each other, respect each other, and support each other. Good night.